Good evening, and welcome to another night of soothing stories. Tonight, we gently drift with starlight, find peace in summer's warmth, take a leisurely stroll through whispering glades, and feel the caress of a gentle breeze over heather cliffs. If you find comfort and a sense of calm in what we share, consider subscribing and perhaps liking the video, but only if it feels right for you. We're always curious about our listeners. Where are you tuning in from tonight? What time is it for you? We love hearing about your place in the world. As we begin, maybe take a moment to dim the lights and let yourself settle under the covers, feeling the softness around you. Let your mind unwind as we begin with our first tale, drifting through the enchanting night sky in the floating garden. In the heart of a tranquil summer evening, a floating garden drifted gently upon a placid lake, its soft ripples murmuring an ancient lullaby. The garden was a masterpiece crafted by both nature and time, where lush and vivid foliage mingled with the delicate artifice of wooden pathways and artfully curved bridges that arched over water as clear as polished glass. The scent of water lilies was ubiquitous, their blossoms pale as the moon itself, opening leisurely in the cool embrace of the night. As twilight surrendered to night, the sky became a vast canvas of navy blue, dotted with myriad stars, each flickering softly amidst the hushed conversation of the crickets and the low croaks of distant frogs. Under this celestial dome, the garden felt like an island adrift, not on water, but on a sea of stardust, gently swaying to a rhythm older than time. The gentle curve of the pathways was illuminated by warm pools of light from lanterns carved into shapes resembling ancient sea creatures. Each lantern housed a glowing amber flame, its light dancing on the surface of the water, merging with reflections of constellations above. The paths were carpeted in soft moss, damp underfoot, and rich with the scent of earth and rain, a grounding perfume that mingled with the fragrant humidity of the late summer night. Surrounding the garden were tall reeds, whispering secrets as a soft breeze wove through them. Their slender forms swayed gracefully, casting enchanting shadows that rippled across the water's surface. Nearby, a willow tree draped its long, delicate branches like a beaded curtain over one side of the garden, its leaves shimmering in the soft glow of the moonlight. The air was alive with a gentle hum, the night resonating with a melody as soft as silk. The water lilies nodded gently in agreement as the breeze, playful and tender, stirred their petals. Nearby, a small fountain, hidden beneath a bowing frond of ferns, babbled each drop of water catching the lunar light, like diamonds scattered without care. In a secluded corner, an elegant pagoda rose from the heart of the garden. Its roof, curving elegantly upwards, was shaded by the fronds of a palm that had found the perfect spot on the island, stretching lazily towards the starlight. The pagoda was simple in design, its wooden frame aged by the sun and the rain, yet standing firm in its serene nobility. Inside lay a hand-woven rug upon which were scattered soft cushions, inviting rest and reflection. One could almost hear the whispers carried on the night's breath, urging one to cast off the weights of daylight, to bask in the simple joys of silence and moonlight. A soft bench rested beneath the pagoda, its cool wood a welcome respite against the warmth radiated by the day-heated stone pathways. A gentle rustle came from the lilac bushes that bordered the garden, their flowers drooping languidly towards the water, each cluster heavy with its own bouquet of sweetness. Their subtle fragrance drifted through the warm air, occasionally accentuated by the perfume of night-blooming jasmine that grew in wild abundance along the garden's edges. Amid these blooms hovered countless fireflies, their tiny bodies emitting a soft, intermittent glow. They drifted lazily through the air, overlapping like threads in a luminescent tapestry that wove through the evening's weave. Their little light show mirrored the stars' endless twinkle, creating a realm where earth and sky seemed to mingle without boundary. Above, the sky deepened into a richer indigo, each star a tiny beacon in the vastness of the cosmos, reminding all who cast their gaze upwards of the endless serenity stretching beyond the horizons. From this cosmic theatre played the occasional nocturne of a night bird calling softly across the water, its notes lingering like the distant echoes of forgotten dreams. The garden seemed to breathe as one, each plant and petal soothing in their silence, the tranquility seeping into every leaf, every blade of grass. This was a place where time held little sway, where the hectic pace of day melted into the gentle caress of night. A quietude enveloped everything, drawing you deeper into its tapestry until even thoughts drifted at a pace as languid as the slow drift of clouds across a summer's sky. Here, the heartbeats of creatures great and small synchronized with the gentle lap of water against ancient stones, creating a rhythm that cradled the soul. In the midst of this ethereal space, one could lean back and gaze over the water, watching as the mirrored heavens swayed with the motion of the breeze. Expect nothing but the gradual reveal of distant stars as eyes slowly adjusted to night's gentle embrace, noticing details that were previously hidden in daylight's glare. The drift of the garden was almost imperceptible, yet it was there, a gentle dance across the lake's expanse. As time gently ebbed, the cool scent of dew began to collect in the air, sweetening it, refreshing tired minds and weary limbs. The dew kissed gently against closed eyelids, its touch a reminder of the tender mercies of the night. Nestled in the pagoda, with soft cushions providing every comfort, you might feel the desire to drift, to close your eyes and imagine becoming as much a part of this utopia as the air around you, letting go of the need to think or worry, allowing the subliminal whisper of the elements to guide a wandering mind. And then there's the sound of a distant, melodious chime, barely there, but ever so present. It comes from a wind chime hanging somewhere unseen, its notes gentle, like the soft touch of dawn's light on a still sea. The sound brushes against the ears like a remembered lullaby. A light mist begins to exhale from the lake, swirling gently just above the water's surface, creating a dreamscape of veils and secrets. This filmy vapor catches the lantern light, the stars, the laughter of the fireflies, turning their reflections into soft, quivering ghosts of their true forms. Under the watchful gaze of the crescent moon, all is reduced to the essentials of pure experience. The feel of the cool night air, the sight of a sky so vast it hugs the horizon in gentle curves, the sound of nature's nocturnal orchestra. There is no hurry here. Time passes, but it does not press. It only unfolds as it has always done, measured by the gentle pull of the earth and the far-flung drift of the stars. Allow eyes to flutter, a gentle breeze caressing tired hearts and minds, as dreams gather like the mist upon soft meadows, giving tales known only in the soft dark. To walk among the lily pads is to walk in a world where serenity is born anew with each passing minute. This is the floating garden's gift, a perpetual passage to the repose of moonlit waters and starlit skies, a timeless echo held firm not by force, but by the delicate, eternal hand of peace. And so, one drifts softly into the arms of sleep, embraced by night's tranquility, until tomorrow's light once again glimmers over the lake, inviting the world to wake from its nightly reverie. Barely perceptible, a gentle breeze stirs the leaves, crafting a symphony more felt than heard. A soothing cadence reminiscent of a lullaby rung since time immemorial. Here, the weight of days past dissipates, replaced by the gentle sway of rhythm that only deep night knows. Veils of mist begin to lift from the water, curling around like the tendrils of a dream, wrapping around the weeping willow's branches, where they brush against the sleepy surface of the lake. Moonlight plays coyly among the mist, reflecting in dozens of miniature crescents nestled within each dewdrop clinging to the leaves. Each droplet a fragment of night's quiet song. Near the edges, crickets continue their chorus, their sound weaving through the night air with a gentle rhythmic pulse. From somewhere deep within the reeds, a distant frog joins in with a baritone croak, a lone note echoing across the vast sapphire expanse of the sky. Within this cocoon of calm, freshly caught by the chill breath of midnight's breath, fireflies flicker joyfully, their small, warming lights echoing ancient stories carried on the breeze. These guardians of the night bring light to shadowy corners, orchestrating a dance as their bodies glint across the garden, casting playful reflections like stars adrift on earth. By the pagoda, a small pond mirrors the galaxy overhead, the crescent moon and twinkling stars rippling gently on its surface. Tiny fish dart beneath the water's silver skin, their movements like swift currents beneath the shimmer, while lily pads hold court, floating majestically, breaking the water's surface with patches of serene foliage. It is here, in this moment stretched across the stillness of time, that thoughts become sparse, dissolving like the mist itself, leaving behind the pleasurable thrum of silence, filled with nature's soft sighs. A sense of belonging envelops everything, a notion that this oasis exists for wandering souls seeking solace from the world. Cradled in the embrace of the night's calm, even the passage of time seems to lose its rigid form, becoming fluid, gentle, like the dappled glow of moonlight, dancing across the whispering reeds. Gone are the constraints of hurried hours, replaced by the languid unfolding of serene minutes. Above, a lone owl makes its solemn way across the midnight canvas, its silhouette a gentle shade against the brightness of stars, its call a serene echo blending with the distant rustle of the reeds. The night welcomes these sounds, cradling them gently like treasures from a bygone age, and as eyelids grow heavy beneath the celestial ceiling, there is a sense of returning to something ancient and enduring, a peace that envelops the heart. Thoughts of soft moss, damp beneath bare feet, the gentle dance of fireflies, the whispered secrets of reeds, all linger at the edge of consciousness. Here, in this sanctuary of starlight and subtle sound, the world seems to hold its breath. The soft caress of sleep nears, carried on the sweetly scented fingers of a breeze heavy with jasmine, and the earth's cool promise, lulled by the melody of the night, nestling deeper into the comfort of this gentle realm. One's heart beats in time with the timeless pull of life itself. Each breath becomes a gentle tide, each heartbeat a rhythm echoing the nature around and within. As the horizon of thought blurs, a dreamscape unfurls, shimmering like the lake beneath the night sky. And so, in this floating garden, suspended between starlight and water's song, tender dreams beckon, unfurling like petals under the moon's watchful eye, until slumber fully embraces. The garden's soothing hush serving as a lullaby that carries one softly into the arms of restful sleep. Breathe in slowly and breathe out. Our next story begins now. Beyond the quaint village, where cobblestone paths wound gently between cottages, there lay a marsh, vast and tangled. Willow trees draped their long silken branches over the banks of quiet waters, creating a canopy that swayed lightly in the summer breeze. It was a place where time seemed to stretch on, unhurried and eternal. And this evening, it was softly lit by the lingering hues of sunset. As the warmth of the day ebbed slowly into the embrace of twilight, the marsh exhaled a cool breath, lightly scented with the earthy richness of damp peat and the sweet fragrance of wildflowers that grew in clustered abundance at the water's edge. The last of the sun's rays cast a golden path across the surface of the water, shimmering like liquid jewels before sinking below the horizon, leaving behind a sky rushed with soft pastels, dusky pink, lavender, and a touch of orange fading gently into night. Crickets began their nocturnal song, their melodies weaving in and out of the hush, as if nature itself were a delicate symphony orchestrated to soothe the soul. The marsh seemed to hold its breath in appreciation, the sounds flowing seamlessly into the serene quiet that followed. Somewhere in the distance, a lone frog croaked, its deep call resonating through the reeds that stood like guardians around the clear pools. The water here was as still as a mirror, reflecting the long limbs of the willows overhead, Occasionally, a fish would break the surface in a gentle ripple, circles spreading outwards with a languid gray that spoke of the timeless peace residing in these wetlands. The world felt soft and forgiving, as if whispering secrets meant only for those who would listen. A path, barely visible beneath the low-hanging branches, wound its way through the marsh. It led to a small, secluded clearing where a wooden bench stood, half hidden by the drapery of willow fronds. This was a favorite resting spot for those who wandered these serene lands at sundown, a place to sit and watch the transformation of the day into night. As the evening settled into a deeper shade, fireflies began their delicate dance, twinkling among the shadows like stars fallen from the heavens. Their tiny lights flickered in and out of view as they hovered near the water's edge, their dance both aimless and purposeful, a gentle reminder of the quiet joys that often slipped by unnoticed. The air was thick with the hum of contented life, punctuated by the occasional plop of a turtle returning to its watery sanctuary. The slow rhythm of the marsh was an invitation to rest, to surrender to its gentle embrace. A soft rustle of leaves in the languid breeze was like the whisper of an old familiar song, carrying with it a promise of safety and solitude. Nestled nearby, a cluster of cattails swayed gently, their fluffy tops catching the subtle glow of the fireflies. Each plant seemed to reach skyward with a quiet yearning, their slender forms bending gracefully with the slightest whisper of wind. The terrain was soft underfoot, a carpet of moss and lichen that cushioned each step, inviting one to stay a little while longer. As the stars began to peek through the feathered clouds, a sense of deep tranquility settled over the marsh. The moonlight, bright and silvery, cast long shadows through the wispy branches, dappling the ground below in light and dark, creating ever-shifting patterns that moved with the lightest of breezes. One could sit for hours in this place, wrapped in the gentle rhythm of nature's evening song, thoughts dissolving into the tranquil night. The marsh was a sanctuary, removed from the hurry of the world beyond its edges. Here, in this liminal space between way and night, time ebbed gently away like the lazy ripple of water fading softly from view. Owls glided silently above, their wide wings barely disturbing the silk of the air. Every so often, a soft hoot would slip from their beaks, echo gently across the silent waters. In the quiet moments between sounds, the marsh felt alive with the pulse of life, each creature a part of an unending cycle of balance and beauty. The gentle rustle of the reeds sang in counterpoint to the distant croak of bullfrogs, creating an unhurried melody that swayed and lingered in the still night. A distant splash marked the leap of a frog, an arcing motion that sent ripples cascading across a pool, catching the moonlight in a fleeting shimmer. Cool, damp air was countered by the warmth of a scarf wrapped loosely around one's shoulders, its thread slightly frayed but comforting. The earthy scent of the marsh melded with the soft perfume of night-blooming flowers, a sweet perfume rising as if in gentle defiance of the coming dark. In time, dew began to settle on the leaves, each droplet a tiny world of reflection, capturing the light of the moon in miniature luminescent spheres. The stars continued their slow dance overhead, the vast stretch of sky, a dark velvet canvas dotted with distant fires, each one a sun in some faraway place. Here, amidst the willows and water, the world outside faded into a soft, muted echo. The weight of the day was lifted, replaced by the gentle murmur of marshland conversation, the hum of bees settling down in their hiss, the rustle of night creatures finding their places. With each deep breath, the crisp air filled the lungs with a clean, fresh taste, washing over the senses as if to cleanse the mind. The marsh was a tapestry of sound and sight, woven together in a perfect pattern that embraced you in its seamless mix of textures and colours. And slowly, gently, the marsh breathed life into dreams yet to be dreamt, inviting you to imagine the space where stories lived just beyond the curtain of sleep. Reality slipped quietly into the softness of imagination, boundaries blurring until the physical present seemed to mingle almost indistinguishably with wonder. It was in these moments that one felt truly held, encased in nature's gentle cocoon, warmed by the notion that all one needed was right within grasp. And if one listened closely enough, the marsh shared tales of old, whispering through the rustle of willow branches and the quiet ripple of water. Tales of days gone by, of life thriving beneath its surface, each story a thread in its ancient tapestry. The marsh was a gentle guardian of the night, its presence as enduring as the stars above. Anyone who came here knew of its peaceful allure, an oasis where thought meandered like the slow-moving current, carrying with it fragments of dreams hopes and whispers of the heart. Far off, the village was now a patchwork quilt of golden windows, each a small hearth beneath the canopy of sky. But the marsh held its own quiet magic. Its lulling serenade a balm to the weary traveller looking for a moment of peace. As evening settled into night, the willows sighed contentedly, their branches nodding in approval of the day's end, and with the rhythmic lull of the cricket's chorus, the wild marsh folded you gently into its whispered embrace, inviting you to lay down your head and drift softly towards sleep. The moon, now high in the sky, cast its gentle glow over the watery expanse, illuminating the marsh in silvery tones. Shadows danced lightly across the rippling surface, as if the water itself were alive, shifting in time with the gentle breath of night. The willows, ancient and wise, stood as silent sentinels, their leaves rustling softly in a melody only the marsh understood. In this tranquil world, the elements of night seemed heightened. The chirping of crickets formed a continuous undertone, while the occasional hoot of an owl added its voice to the nocturnal orchestra. The night air was filled with small, delicate sounds. The subtle plop of a raindrop, the gentle rustling of small creatures moving about their nightly business. An old wooden footbridge arched gracefully over one of the larger pools, its planks creaking softly as they settled into the night. Moss covered the edges in a velvet-like cloak, and as one walked across, the faint scent of cedar and earth rose up, a grounding aroma that tethered the dreamer's soul to the earth, even as the mind wandered. The stars above continued their eternal dance, casting a tranquil glow upon the land. Here and there, clouds meandered lazily across the heavens, their forms shifting and changing like thoughts in the twilight of consciousness. It was under these celestial bodies that stories, long forgotten, floated back on the whispering wind, reminding one that beneath this starry veil, the world held infinite wonder. A narrow brook trickled through the marsh, its gentle babble a constant, soothing presence. Its banks were lined with lush ferns and grasses, their green fronds nodding rhythmically beneath the moon's approving gaze. The water's endless journey to something greater was a metaphor, perhaps, a reminder of life's simplicity and grace. Nearby, a family of ducks slept soundly on a bank, nestled closely together under the protective curve of their mother's wing. The soft down of their feathers created a warm cocoon, and their presence added an endearing touch to the evening scene. The marsh, in all its wild beauty, was also a haven for such tender moments where life's simplest forms found solace and security. In this gentle domain, time blurred and twisted, as if the past and future touched, held gently by the world's quiet breath. Dreams intermingled with reality, weaving a delicate tapestry where one could sit, eyes closed, and find peace amidst the whispers of the night. The wooden bench, a steadfast friend to many a wanderer, stood invitingly in the moonlight, its surface worn smooth by gentle hands and years of stories shared in stolen moments. To sit here was to partake in the grand symphony of the marsh, surrounded by its tactile warmth and the cool, crisp night air. And so, beneath the star-dappled sky, surrounded by the lullaby of the marsh, the bench beckoned the traveller to rest, to let go of the burdensome weight of day. The crooning of the crickets merged with the gentle rustle of the leaves, creating a cradle in which one's spirit could drift, buoyed by the sweet murmurings of night. As the heart slowed and breathing deepened, the marsh revealed its final enchantment. A myriad of scents carried on the breeze, the subtle perfume of night-blooming jasmine mingled with the earthy aroma of pine needles and cool dew, a fragrant potion that wrapped its tendrils around the dreamer, whisking them away into a realm of soft repose. In this serene world, where the lines between dreams and reality blurred, the marsh offered a timeless refuge. Here, with only the stars as witnesses, one could surrender to the gentle embrace of sleep, cradled by the whispers of willow branches and the soft sighs of the night. The marsh was the keeper of dreams, a place where stories began and ended with equal grace. And in those final moments of wakefulness, as the land of sleep beckoned, all at once, everything was possible, and nothing was beyond reach. Here, comfort embraced like a long-lost friend, and the world seemed to softly whisper, "Welcome home. You're safe. You're warm. You're comfortable. Let's continue our journey together." As evening tiptoes softly into the world, the Peppercorn Glade wears a coat of golden tranquility, each beam of the setting sun threading subtly through the dense canopy of pepper trees. This secluded haven, hidden from the bustling thoughts of the world, cradles the lingering warmth of summer in its gentle embrace, inviting all who wander its paths to a sweet, unhurried respite. Here, the ground is a soft quilt of moss and fallen peppercorns, the air infused with their faintly spicy aroma, mingling with hints of jasmine that float on the quiet breeze. As you walk the narrow footpath that meanders through the grove, each step silences a whisper of crushed leaves, their rich, earthy scent rising to greet you, weaving into the tapestry of evening scents that surround you. With the sun now slipping lower, its lazy tendrils of light play across the branches, casting dappled shadows that dance in rhythm with the gentle sway of the trees. The cicadas, in their harmonious chorus, add a melodic hum to the air, their lullabies weaving in and out of the rustle of leaves. Above, the sky dresses in layers of soft pink and subtle lavender, a delicate watercolor canvas painted for no eyes but the stars. You find a bench nestled at the heart of the glade, where the gentle curve of the path allows a sigh to escape from tall grasses and wildflowers leaning in to listen. Here, the world narrows to the singular pleasure of simply being. You take a seat, and the bench, decades-old wood yielding with a comfortable creak, is soft under your touch, its surface polished by countless rests. The worn planks hold stories of their own, etched in whispers of time. The air is alive with the quiet sounds of life, gently carried by the evening. A distant owl calls, searching the edge of the night. A brook, hidden beyond the trees, lets loose a playful giggle as it tumbles over smooth stones. Each sound layers upon the next, and your mind begins to drift on these gentle currents, carried along by their serene flow. As the light grows softer still, the trees offer a comforting rustle, their branches swaying lightly as if waving to bid farewell to the day. Beyond the delicate lacework of leaves, visions of fireflies begin to blink softly into existence, like tiny, spectral stars come to rest among the darkened underbrush. Their dance is a gentle glowing ritual, casting spells of gentle enchantment over the dusk-blushed petals of the glade. This place, imbued with the magic of countless evenings, where the veil of sunset brushes the horizon sleepily, becomes part of you, holding a timelessness that whispers lullabies to the weary. You breathe deeply, holding the sweet spice of the peppercorns in your lungs, their warmth unraveling knots you did not realize had formed, easing aches known and unknown. Softly, a breeze stirs, caressing your skin like a tender promise, carrying with it the stories of the day, like poems whispered on the wind. It tells you of the sunflowers turning their gaze to follow the sun's lazy descent, of the bees returning home laden with the day's golden bounty, of the earth warmed and worn, preparing for a gentle rest beneath the cover of stars. And just there, in this sacred pause, you feel the world dampen its pace. The trees seem to lean closer, their exchange filled with secrets shared between branches and leaves, a rustling language of contentment. Wild mint peeks out alongside the pathway, its leaves reflecting a silvery glow in the gathering twilight, mingling its coolness with the spice of the peppercorns, together creating an aroma imbued with comfort. Your gaze drifts to where the glade opens slightly, allowing vistas of meadows unfolding beyond, their undulating surfaces catching and holding the last light of the day. Little patches of wild chamomile and soft clover dot the expanse, creating a quilt infused with green, dotted with tender yellows and whites, painting an imagistic piece that spills into your being. A soft sigh of the wind carries the new scent of blooming honeysuckle, its sweetness a tranquil counterpoint to the peppery air, twining in gentle harmony. With each new fragrance, the glade becomes a sensory poem, each line reciting the quiet beauty of the evening to you. A saga compiled on gentle breezes, imploring nothing further of you than to listen and receive. From a corner of your eye, you catch a glimpse of a small hedgehog, perhaps coaxed from its nest by the beckoning night. It toddles across the path with unhurried steps, its round form creating a moment of shared mirth. The creature acknowledges you with a simple pause, its nose twitching, a delicate inquiry into the night sense. Briefly, it pauses, then continues on its way beneath a cover of fragrant dill, becoming part of the broader symphony of life. Overhead, the first stars begin to pierce through the veil of deepening twilight, casting their glimmers upon the quietly breathing world. The evening stretches her arms wide, embracing the remaining light, settling her gown of stars onto her shoulders as the moon slowly makes her silent ascent, a gentle guardian overseeing the transition. Her soft glow brushes the earth with touches of silver, kissing grounds that await the quiet steps of those who dream. The night begins softly tuning itself to a different melody, where crickets take up the chorus and frogs lend their rhythmic bass. The symphony of day shifts and adjusts itself seamlessly into the song of night. And in this song, you find your heart soothed, finding cadence with the surrounding world. Resting back against the bench, you feel the coolness of its surface seep slowly into you, a welcome relief from the day's heat, calming to the touch. You close your eyes and allow the dance of breezes upon your cheeks to lull you further, listening to the gentle applause of rustling leaves and the swaying summer world around you. The gentle touch of fireflies continues, appearing and disappearing like silent notes on a page of air. With each brief illumination, you feel connected to the ageless whispers of this place, holding time and silence in a gentle embrace as the world hums ever on, a peaceful continuum of comfort and rest. How soft the night feels here, how mild its breathing. It whispers to you, inviting you to let go, to release any last tendrils of thought that cling to you. In the Peppercorn Glade, you are free to wander through memory and dream. Unsharp corners softened by a lull of fragrant air. You find rest not just for the body, but for a heart calmed by the gentle ballet of a summer's eve. Slowly, the hours fold into each other, a seamless, gentle lacework spun from the threads of glade and sky, wind and light. Above, constellations begin to gather, painting their familiar shapes across the celestial dome. A comforting quilt, stitched from ages past, each star a tiny beacon in the expansive canvas, and you feel their collective gaze watching over you, guardians of peace and stillness. With each passing moment, the world around you becomes ever more a serene refuge, draped in soft whispers and gentle echoes. The earth sends up its fragrance, as if in gratitude, while the sky enfolds the glade, all coalescing in an embrace meant to cradle the weary spirits. The Peppercorn Glade, with all its scents and songs, welcomes you tenderly into its folds, and as dreams rise gently like mist from the cool earth, you sink deeper into the embrace of the evening, the night, and the world that carries you softly onwards into peace. The glow of the moon seeps gently into every corner of the glade, casting long silvery shadows that dance gracefully among the trees. Each breath you take is a composition of the night's fragrances, jasmine, and now the faintest trace of pine from trees nearby, adding a textural depth to the cool night air. It's a soothing melody for the senses, a canvas on which tranquility is painted vividly. The bench beneath you feels rooted and secure, as if it has planted itself there centuries ago just for you, to offer quiet support beneath the vast star-studded sky. There is a whispering lullaby, spoken in the language of creaking wood and rustling leaves, a gentle conversation that promises safety and repose. You lean back slightly, your gaze drifting upwards to the canopy above, where stars spill through the lattice work of leaves. Tiny pinpricks of light against the velvety darkness. They're a silent, celestial choir singing in reserved elegance, their presence bestowing calm and wonder even on the most quiet of observers. In this suspended moment of evening's embrace, you can almost hear the earth sigh, a long, contented exhalation that tugs softly at your heart, reminding you of the simple joy of existing in harmony with all that surrounds you. It is a moment rich with timelessness, where every breath is a new note in a symphony of serene balance. You sense the gentle rhythm of the earth beneath you, a supportive pulse that carries you forward into the depths of night. Around you, the fireflies continue their playful ballet, their light pulses a slow, teasing Morse code, meant only for those willing to learn its secret language. Their glow captivates your fleeting thoughts, drawing them into the dreamy patterns writ across the evening air. Just beyond the clearing, where shadows thicken pleasantly, a gentle rustling signals the quiet passage of deer, their silhouettes graceful even amid gathering obscurity. Their gentle steps create a rhythm, tapping softly against the earth, echoing the heartbeat of the world itself. They pause momentarily, glancing toward you with calm curiosity, before disappearing into the comforting embrace of the trees, taking with them a whisper of night's magic. The sky, now a deep indigo embroidered with stars, exudes a majesty that stirs the inward places of your soul, inviting you into its infinite reach. The moon's light strokes the leaves softly, turning the landscape into an ethereal painting, with gentle strokes of light and shadow weaving across the ground beneath. Your mind begins to wander into dreams, led by these soft textures, by the subtle sense, by the peaceful lull. together to form a sanctuary for reflection and rest. Embraced by the night, you feel yourself dissolving slowly into the larger symphony of the world. Here, time is no longer a relentless river, but a gentle, rippling stream leading you softly into the dreamland. And so, wrapped in the Peppercorn Glade's warm yet silken folds, where night holds sway over every leaf and breeze and eye's gentle closure, you let yourself sink peacefully into the depths of sleep, the world a soft serenade that cradles your heart with loving arms. There's no need to rush. Just breathe and let the next story find you. As the sun began its slow descent toward the horizon, the heather-clad cliffs stood poised above the ocean below, a gentle panorama of summer's full embrace. The heather was a symphony in varying shades of purple and mauve, punctuated here and there by the bright yellow of gorse, the whole ensemble standing in warm contrast to the jade sea stretching out under the expanse of sky. A path wound lazily through the thin turf, its surface worn and soft underfoot, defined by the passage of countless wanderers who had soaked in the sea breeze through many generations. The scent in the air was a calming concoction of salted mist and the earthy, sweet perfume of heather, mingling in a way that spoke of the fullness of life by the sea. Soft rustling noises came from the brush as a gentle breeze played among the flowers, setting them swaying and whispering their stories to each other. It was a melody just beyond the range of the human ear, yet somehow still felt within the heart. The waves below crashed softly upon the rocks, the backdrop of a scene carved through time itself. As you walk along this path, each step takes you deeper into a realm where time seems to lose its rigid hold, replaced instead by the gentle pulse of nature. The light is beginning to lean, casting long shadows across the ground, enriching the colors and adding a sense of peace to the air that accompanies the twilight. At intervals along the way, there are ancient stone benches nestled into the hillside, placed with intention so that those who choose to sit may have the most perfect view of the sea and sky. You choose one now, feeling the cool, smooth stone beneath your palm as you settle in, allowing the warmth of the late sun to dance across your face. You close your eyes for a brief moment, and the world is reduced to sounds. The rustling above, the slow whisper of the grasses against stone, the rhythm of waves mingled with the call of distant seabirds gliding along the thermals. The air itself is thick with summer's end, a time when the world pauses in anticipation of what is to come, lingering in the warmth a little longer. Opening your eyes again, you look out over the edge where the cliffs meet the sea. Below, the waves roll and break with a comforting regularity, their tops capped in white foam lit golden by the setting sun. Seagulls wheel and dive, occasionally letting out cries that echo like old songs over the water. The heather around you sways once more, a lullaby of waving purples and greens. You notice how each bush is made up of small, finely tuned blossoms, each petal a tiny masterpiece, perfectly formed and illuminated by the soft light of evening. Beyond the heather, the horizon meets with the endless stretch of sky. As the sun dips further down, the colors change in the clouds, painting the heavens with hues of coral, amber, and gold that speak of the day's warmth. These colors intermingle to form a magnificent tapestry that shifts and weaves, never static, always transforming. Here and there, small paths snake off the main track, leading to outlooks where you can stand just a little bit closer to the edge, feeling the wildness of the sea tugging at something deep within. But tonight, the comfort of the steady ground is where you remain, soaking in the peace of this elevated perch. As twilight approaches, the air begins to cool slightly, a shift that is refreshing against today's heat. You pull a soft shawl around your shoulders, savoring the way its fabric carries the essence of lavender from a sachet tucked away in its folds. The scent is subtle, yet lingers, adding another layer of tranquility to this shared moment between you and nature. Night starts to weave its fine lace over the landscape, the transition as seamless as it is gradual. Stars start pin-pricking the sky, slow to awaken from their daytime slumber. Below, the sea holds their reflections, creating a speckled tapestry that mirrors the infinite above, stretching across the vast expanse of ocean. The breeze flutters once more, ruffling your hair and tugging gently, almost playfully, at your clothes. A pair of moths flit through the heather, their wings catching the last few rays of sun, so that for a moment they appear as tiny, ethereal lanterns. Being here, at this juncture of land and sea, is an experience that expands the soul with each passing minute. It invites contemplation in its fullest form, beyond any bounds of hurried ticking clocks and daily demands. Here, is only the moment, held softly in a world that speaks in tones of blues and purple and muted whispers. An old, weathered lighthouse stands not too far from where you sit. Its stone polished by countless storms, each one a testament to its endurance. Tonight, its rotating light casts a slow, sweeping glow upon the cliffs and sea alike, marking a steady rhythm that brings back the ships from afar. The quiet mastery of this place guides your thoughts to gentle reflections, the mind meandering as the path you walked earlier. The cliffs, steadfast as always, are nature's own guardians of the sea's secrets, standing silent but for the whispers exchanged between earth and air. In the distance, the horizon now holds the faintest promise of night's darkness. Yet for now, the memory of sunshine lingers, a warm embrace that you wish could last forever. As the stars begin to twinkle more boldly, a crescent moon rises to take her place among them, watched over by the ancient beams of the lighthouse. The day, now surrendering fully to night, leaves behind a feeling of completeness. Somewhere, a fox calls into the encroaching dark, a gentle reminder of life that continues unseen in the folds of nature's quiet night blanket. Eventually, as you rise from the stone bench and begin to make your way back to where your journey began, there is a sense of contentment that follows each step. The path back seems different now, as if touched by the wisdom of twilight. Every rustle of heather and gorse feels like a friendly goodbye wave to your retreat. The lighthouse beam continues its dutiful path, a guardian of light in darkening times as you walk. The scent of brine laces the air, as if the sea itself wraps its presence around you, cloaking you in its timeless embrace. Finally, under a sky filled with stars that gleam bright against the vast velvet of night, you reach the end of your path. The evening has evolved into something rich and vast, weaving the day's last warmth with the cool promise of tomorrow. Tonight, as night claims its full say, there is only the sound of waves, soft, almost secretive, whispering lullabies that will guide you to restful dreams. Their melody, a gentle promise of peace until dawn. Here, atop the heather cliffs above an endless sea, has been a pause, a stilled breath, a place where time stood still just long enough to be remembered always. As you turn from the cliff edge, another sight catches the corner of your eye. a gentle flicker of light emanating from a small cottage nestled along the hillside. It's quaint, seemingly etched from the very land it inhabits, with walls of stone and a roof thatched with aged, sun-bleached straw. Smoke curls lazily from its chimney, promising the warmth of a fire that crackles within. Drawn by the inviting glow, you decide to wander a little closer, allowing yourself to dream for a moment about who might reside in such a cozy dwelling, and perhaps even imagine the stories they could share. The path towards it is narrow but welcoming, lined with wildflowers that softly brush against your legs, their petals cool and dewy from the encroaching evening. As you draw near, the sound of laughter floats out through a partially open window, faint yet vividly joyous, mixing with the gentle music of a fiddle played with heart. The melody is warm and rich, filling the air like honey as it dances out into the night, and you find yourself smiling, momentarily part of their celebration. Continuing on, the path curves and leads you past the cottage, where a wooden fence outlines a small garden filled with rhythmic rows of herbs and vegetables that release earthy scents into the breeze. Nearby, a small spring trickles over stones polished smooth by years of flowing water. Its song is quiet and constant, a subtle accompaniment to the fading music. Beyond the spring, the path softens, becoming a trail of packed earth, cushioned by the day's fallen leaves, their colours muted in the low light. Each step is cushioned beneath your feet, silent and gentle, as if the world were holding its breath, waiting for this moment of stillness. The coolness in the air sharpens slightly, and you can sense the moisture clinging to your skin. The freshness of the sea and meadow tangled together in the breeze. The path leads you to a small wooden bridge, arching gracefully over a stream that gurgles happily as it rushes to meet the sea. Leaning on the handrail, you pause here, listening to the water's tale of distant pebbles and hidden reeds. Hands resting on the wood, you gaze down at the clear waters, which reflect the first few stars peering out from the darkening sky. Along the banks, night-blooming flowers begin to open their silky petals, releasing delicate fragrances that weave together like a gentle lullaby composed by nature itself. Further to the side, an ancient oak stands tall, its branches spreading wide as if to embrace the sky. In its boughs, an owl hoots softly, waking to the night. Its call, a serenade to the stars, which now glimmer brightly above. The night air is filled with the friendship of nocturnal creatures beginning their evening rituals, shared rhythms in the grand world orchestra. Knowing that the time has come to return and rest, you move once more, the path before you, a welcoming ribbon leading you homeward. The rustle of leaves underfoot is a gentle farewell, a soft whisper of gratitude for your presence here tonight. As you near the village from where your journey began, lamps gleam warmly in the distance, casting a golden glow upon the cobblestone streets. Doors are shut tight against the night chill, and shutters are drawn to deep dreams within. Yet small voices and hints of laughter flow gently through the seams, carrying stories of today into the promise of tomorrow. Entering your own abode, the sense of peace from the cliffs, the sea, and the path lingers. You prepare for rest. The weariness of the day's journey wrapped snugly in the soothing blanket of evenings spent by the heathered shore. With the night firmly settled outside, you find your own way into dreams, assured by the rhythmic whisper of waves that serenade you into a gentle slumber. Tonight, as you drift into soft sleep, your thoughts wander in harmony with the memory of the cliffs, their silent testimony to the beauty of this world you are a part of, a world where the heart is both at home and at peace, and bright tomorrows are born quietly amidst the stars and the endless song of the sea. Good night and sleep well. We'll be here whenever you need a little peace and quiet.